Some battles are fought at the front line. Others are decided hundreds of kilometers away, where the enemy feels safe. But what happens when that safe zone is breached? In recent weeks, Ukraine has not only defended territory, it has reached deep into the Russian military's core, striking where they least expected. First, a Su-27 fighter jet, armed with US-made GBU-62 precision glide bombs, obliterated a Russian troop assembly point near Pokrovsk. Then swarms of explosive drones penetrated fortified air bases, burning multi-million-dollar warplanes in their own hangars. This is more than military success. It's a lesson in the power of strategy, adaptability, and asymmetric warfare. Today we'll break down how the Su-27 strike changed the game on the Eastern Front, why drone warfare, including Operation Spiderweb, is redefining modern conflict, the massive toll. In the small village of Pescano, just outside Pokrovsk, Russian forces had gathered for their next push. Semi-ruined houses became staging grounds, temporary barracks for an assault unit. But Ukrainian reconnaissance spotted the concentration. The response was swift. A Su-27 fighter jet loaded with a GBU-62 JDAMER, a GPS-guided glide bomb designed for pinpoint destruction, took off. From high altitude, the jet released its payload, the GBU-62, with a range of up to 45 kilometers and accuracy within 3 meters, descended silently before exploding in a blast that reduced the buildings to rubble. Everyone inside, gone. This wasn't just a battlefield kill, it was a preventive strike. By removing an assault unit before they could mobilize, Ukraine blunted a potential Russian breakthrough toward Pokrovsk. Here's the real genius. Ukraine combined an older Soviet-era platform, the Su-27, with cutting-edge Western munitions. On its own, the Su-27 lacks modern avionics for ultra-precise strikes. But with the JDAM-ER kit, it became a precision scalpel, capable of striking from beyond most Russian air defense envelopes. It's like fitting a classic car with a modern GPS-guided missile system. The Pokrovsk strike was part of a broader escalation. Ukraine's Air Force has been striking not only in occupied territories, but inside Russian border regions, Belgorod, Kursk, and even deeper, because Russia relies on rear staging areas, safe zones where they can mass troops and supplies. Destroy those, and you break the rhythm of their offensives. This is a classic principle in military theory: attack the enemy's preparations, not just his attacks. By forcing Russia to defend its rear, Ukraine dilutes their frontline strength. This is asymmetric warfare at its finest. Ukraine knows it cannot match Russia's artillery or missile volumes, but it can exploit precision and timing. Instead of trading shells, it picks strategic targets: ammo depots, troop barracks, radar stations, turning each strike into a lever that moves the entire battlefield. On August 3rd, Ukraine's SBU launched explosive drones at the Saki airfield in occupied Crimea, 240 kilometers from the front line. This base had just been reinforced with at least 12 concrete bunkers to shield aircraft from attack. Inside, Russian Su-30 fighters, Su-24 bombers, and Orion drones sat supposedly secure. The strike bypassed those defenses. One Su-30 was destroyed, another damaged, along with 3 Su-24s and a military aviation depot, possibly containing weapons or fuel. This was more than destruction, it was humiliation. Russia had just invested in these shelters, only to see them fail in their very first test. It's worth noting, concrete bunkers aren't invincible. They protect against shrapnel and small blasts, but a drone carrying the right-shaped charge or striking during open-door operations can still cripple aircraft inside. The Saki strike proved that expensive defenses don't guarantee safety, and that constant operational security is just as vital as physical barriers. Perhaps the boldest move came on June 1st, Operation Spiderweb. Under the cover of night, Ukrainian forces deployed long-haul trucks carrying racks of FPV drones. These vehicles, positioned alarmingly close to major Russian bomber bases, opened up and launched 117 drones in coordinated waves. Targets: 5 airfields deep inside Russia: Diaghilevo, Ivanovo, Olenya, Engels, and Ukhta. By morning, reports suggested around 40 Russian aircraft were destroyed or damaged, including two 95 strategic bombers, two 22M-3 missile carriers, and even rare A-50 AWACS early warning planes. To put this in perspective, the Tu-95 is Russia's workhorse for long-range cruise missile strikes. The A-50 is critical for airspace surveillance and coordination. Removing even a handful of these from the fight is like knocking the radar and missile launchers off a warship. It leaves the rest of the fleet far more vulnerable. And it wasn't just the loss of machines, it was the message. Nowhere is safe. One Ukrainian operator described the eerie silence before his drone hit a Tu-95's wing fuel tank. The explosion lit up the airfield so brightly that it cast shadows over a kilometer away. The mission log simply read, "Target destroyed." This single night likely reduced Russia's cruise missile launch capacity for weeks. Every missile not launched is a Ukrainian city spared. Since June 1st, Ukrainian deep strikes, both manned and unmanned, have destroyed or damaged over 160 Russian planes and 157 helicopters. That's not just attrition, it's strategic paralysis. Losing aircraft on the ground forces Russia to pull remaining planes farther from the front, increasing flight times, fuel use, and maintenance strain. It's the same principle as medieval siege warfare. Force the enemy to retreat behind their walls, and their reach diminishes. Even inside Russia, cracks are showing. Former FSB officer Igor Girkin admitted the Russian offensive has stalled, reserves are depleted, and defenses aren't ready everywhere. He predicts Ukraine will strike soon, likely toward Crimea or Zaporizhzhia. And the timing makes sense. Hit when the enemy's logistics are strained and their morale shaken. The story here isn't just about bombs and drones, it's about adaptation. When outgunned, Ukraine didn't try to match Russia missile for missile. Instead, it found weak points, airfields, staging areas, critical assets, and struck with precision and audacity. The takeaway: in modern war, victory doesn't always go to the side with more firepower. It goes to the side that uses what it has more intelligently. That's a lesson that will echo far beyond Ukraine. Thank you for watching until the end. Please subscribe and share if you enjoyed it, and don't forget to leave a comment.